Hello, everyone. Hello. Hello. All right, guys. Holy cannolis, right? Absolutely a little bit nuts right now. Thanks for coming in. This Heart of Inspiration. And we're going to talk tonight. This is Wednesday Wisdom. Welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. And today is all about the shifts. The shifts. So if this is your first time here and you're catching this live on the replay, welcome. My returning subscribers, welcome back. Thank you very much. Thank you. Guys, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. We are like right around the corner from 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to do something super special when we hit that. And I don't know yet what that really is, but we'll figure something out. Okay, let's get right into this. Okay, so we all know that we had the solar eclipse just on the 2nd, and we're fast approaching the partial lunar eclipse, which is also a full moon on July 16th. Now, we talked in an earlier live about all of the planetary aspects. I have my notes right here for said lunar eclipse. But I will tell you that there's a lot going on, and I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to a lot of you about it. Hey Rio, hey Ashley, hey Nita, hey Lisa, hey SR, how are you? Hey Lollipop. Hello Giggle, hello Raina, thanks for coming in. So we're going to talk a little bit about these. I've got all sorts of, I left my other notes upstairs. Gosh darn son of a biscuit. Okay. We're going to talk about all these different transits, all this different stuff, and see if we can make some sense of it. So as far as what I can tell from the shift that is happening, we're in the middle of, it's really we talked about the thinning of the veil. We talked about how easy it is. Hello, Sagittarius. We talked about how easy it is, how much easier it is and will continue to be to access the 5th dimension. And if you notice on YouTube, there's a lot of 5th dimensional being talk. There's a lot about talk about living in the 5th dimension. Hey, Deanna. A lot of talk about living in the 5th dimension. This whole concept of this 5th dimensional being shifting into 5D life doesn't necessarily mean that we will no longer be living in a 3rd dimensional existence. To me, this is a thus saith Lisa. This isn't a thus saith anybody else. This is my interpretation, so take it for what it's worth. Hey Mary. What it is though is this ability to live in a constant and consistent and fluid state of being spirit-led and spirit aware. Okay. While your feet are still here on the 3rd dimensional plane. That shift, and we've been going through this for a while. We've been preparing for this for a while. But it's upon us. That shift can be all at the same time confusing, uncomfortable, beautiful, wonderful, powerful, all at the same time. But I specifically wanted to talk about some planets. I put the chart up there. I hope you guys can see it well. Of where this is as of today, and I want you to kind of get an idea of how the planets are shifting and how that shift, how their interaction can happen. We're going to start with the sun. The sun is conjunct Venus. And Venus is actually sextile Uranus. And it's moving rather quickly into opposition to Saturn. Because if you see and actually it is in essence right now in opposition to Saturn. Because when you have two planets that are in the same sign, in the same house, that's a conjunction. There can be a close conjunction, there can be a wide conjunction, but they're in conjunction. So this means it's going to magnify one another. The energies of both are going to magnify one another. And the sun and Venus are now in Cancer. So what is that meaning right now? So what do we know about Cancer? Cancer is the fourth house. It's all about, home, hearth, there is some materialism there, but it's really this emotional stability, all that kind of stuff. It's the mother. Think of a mother, right? Think of the mother. Oh, you just did cafe astrology, you don't understand all of it. Well, we should have a natal chart night, and I'll have Shonda come on with us. Be careful. Oh, Lisa K. I was like, what do I have to be careful already? I haven't said anything. So, and what is Venus about? Yes, Venus is the planet of love. Venus also rules Taurus. If you know anything about Taurians, those from the house of Taurus, they're also very family oriented. They're also a little stubborn, but they're also about that money. They're an earth sign. They're about that money. That money, right? As well as Cancerians. So love and money. That's what what they rule. So that energy itself is okay. I'm all right with that energy. We're about love, whatever, the moon, so on and so forth. However, the moon is coming into opposition because we're about to have a lunar eclipse and it's about to be the full moon. The moon is coming into opposition of the sun, which means it's about to be oppose Venus as well. Which means that we are going to be a tad bit emotional about our love and our money. Now, there's a little bit more that's going to go into this. And as I was looking at this, I was saying, oh my good Lord, this is why some people are acting a fool. The sun is in opposition to Saturn because Saturn is in Capricorn. Cancer and Capricorn are opposing signs. What does that mean? And Saturn is in retrograde. What does all that mean? If you look at Saturn, it's in the 10th house. Money, career, that material thing. So you could be going through some issues with your career right now, good or bad. You could be going, and it could be that it's being, to me, when I see the sun in opposition to Saturn, and then the moon is moving in conjunction with Saturn, because it'll be in Capricorn by the 16th. That means to me that your individual, and Saturn is in retrograde. So it's peeling back this onion and saying, it's peeling back that curtain and saying, where are you really supposed to be in your career? Hey, Tawanda, where are you really supposed to be in your career right now? Where are you really supposed to be? And are you doing what you're really supposed to be doing? And gosh darn it, because we got the sun in Cancer, illuminating Cancerians, and Capricornians, we're both cardinal signs. It's basically saying it's time to make a change. We got to make a move, people. We can't just sit here doing what we know we ain't supposed to be doing. We gotta move. We gotta move. The sun is trining or working with Neptune, which is also sextile to Saturn. So Neptune, which is Pisces, right? The ruler of Pisces, the 12th house, that's about your spirituality, your faith, all of that, right? Hey, Neek. You take that energy right there, okay, and you say, okay, Neptune, dreaminess. The other planet also that rules Pisces is Jupiter. That's another big dreamy. Sagittarius, a big dreamy planet, right? So you got this spiritual dreaminess. You got this big energy and spirituality. That's why this veil is opening up. The structure that we have heretofore known in the spirit realm is changing and shifting. Saturn is about rule, government. So the 10th house is also governance, rules, all of that, right? So you take both of these. Hey, Lee. You take both of these concepts that are both in retrograde, and I tend to take retrograde energy as personal energy. It can also be like fluctuations in how things are looking, but I take it a lot to be personal energy in regard to where they are in their houses, in their respective houses. That we're being challenged to change how we are viewing ourselves on a spiritual level. All of that's being challenged right now. The things that we have held on to as sacred cows, if you will, are being ripped, right? They're being ripped up. They're being moved. They're being shaken in a big way. However, we've got the sun in Cancer that's saying, it's all right. It's okay. We need to put a different structure to the house right now. We got to build our house. We have to do some renovations to the house structurally. We got to do some renovations to the house. The house. So we're being asked, not really asked, but the energy spiritually is like, you gotta, no. How you did it before, how you looked at it before, how you moved before, what you thought was being spirit led before, what you thought was being in tune with your ancestors before, what you thought was being in tune with the angels before, what you thought was being in tune with your spirit guides before, what you thought about being in tune with creator, with beloved, with spirit before. Baby, please let it go. Because now I'm about to show you a new way to handle it. All the while, Venus is in conjunction. So the love and the money are in conjunction with the house. Yet in opposition to the spirit, the spiritual ideations, and how do we utilize our spiritual life? How do we utilize the things of the spirit in our day-to-day life, our material life? You don't have to necessarily be me or be another reader or be a medium or be a whatever to utilize your spiritual abilities and capabilities in your day-to-day life. In fact, if you become led by your spirit and not by your third dimensional mind all the time, you will find that your day-to-day life at the end of it all goes a much easier. But we're not used to flowing in that manner. And so that's why this is such a jolt. And then the people that aren't going along with the jolt are acting up, and we're going to get to that in a minute. You see, we all have spiritual gifts. We all do. Some have gifts in certain areas greater than others. But we all have them. We all have the capacity because we are all at our core spirit. So we all have the capacity to have a fifth dimensional lifestyle. Okay? trining Neptune. And the sun is in opposition to Pluto, which is kind of what's causing this hesitation for sudden change. Now, as much as as Cancerians, speaking as one, as much as we are cardinal signs, we are still very much creatures of habit, and we're still very stable. The boss father calls her me. Nice. We're also very stable, and we can be a tad bit stuck in our ways from time to time. Pluto rules Scorpio, as does Mars. Scorpio is about transformation. So we have the sun shining this light and in opposition, kind of in argument with Pluto right now. Now that's going to remain. It just came into opposition. It is, where's Pluto here? It's 21 degrees in Capricorn. We're going to still feel the effects of that all throughout the remainder of Cancerian season. Yeah, we have to live a more peaceful life, and we do have to meditate more. We'll get into that in just a second, guys. So Pluto is in Capricorn, which is why it's opposing the sun. Remember, we are on this Cancerian North Node, Capricorn South Node axis with all this activity. That's why I know it's not just about self, but about the greater self. It's not just about self, it is about the greater humanity, collective as well, governance, right? Governance. Hey, all set. So, by Pluto being opposing to the sun, we've got a little, and I look at it this way. It's the sun saying, yeah, I get it. You want to change. And Pluto saying, change now, change now, change now. Sun saying, I ain't really for it. Change now, change now, change now. No, not doing it. I'm not comfy. So Cappies, you are probably feeling this a little bit more than everybody else. Cappies and probably Cancerians, but I will say my Capricorns are really feeling this because it's like change now, and y'all are like, I'm a goat. I'm not feeling it. I ain't having it. I'm done. You know, I'm through. So, but we don't have any choice, though, Cappies. I feel for you now. I really do feel you. Okay, so that's what that is going on. Now, how could we take all of that I've just talked about? Most of that is, again, really about mostly ourselves, but it is also about potentially our family structures, our love relationships. For some of us, it's our money. You know, if we go with the flow, then we get new jobs or new careers, or we open up new doors, or we move into what we've been led to do spiritually. We've been led to do spiritually, and then we begin to see that become into give us some material gain, because that's the other thing we really have to be paying attention to right now, is that with as long as Saturn and Neptune are sextiling it in retrograde, it is all about our spiritual, using our spiritual gifts for material gain. And that could be the leading of the spirit, but that could also be, hey, all of a sudden everything's blowing up, right? Everything's getting better, right? Because we're being led by the spirit and we're moving by the spirit. Now, here we go with where we have been having some issues. The moon is squaring Mercury, and Mercury is in retrograde. Baby. Also, by the way, Mercury right now is in Leo while it is in retrograde and squaring the moon. So if you have been having some issues with people that just seem to be like they are really and truly all about themselves, and they have this need to be heard, and it is very oppositional to you, and it could potentially be rather hurtful. This is why. If it feels like people are moving in their fields and like, why did you just say that? Why did you just say it? Yeah, all of us are like, we not having it. Like, I've not been having it at all. And I usually have some patience. But honey, Mars is in Leo. So Mars is opposing the moon. When and I'm an Aries moon. So when Mars is in Leo, so it's in a fire sign and it's opposing the moon, which is my sign. And Mercury is in retrograde in Leo all at the same time. And that, excuse me, Mars is square to the moon. Mars and Mercury are square to the moon and they are both in Leo. Baby, you gonna see people puffing up their chest for the next few days. You gonna see puffing in there. Who's buying what? The grocery shopping. That's all right. You're gonna see people puffing their chest. Seems like they in their feels, being a little aggressive. And I'm telling you this so that you know it and that you can kind of be like, okay, I get it. And kind of in your personal life, in your own little world, I was like, why is everybody just like fighting with me on every little tip? Everything. Why is y'all fighting with me? Why? I don't understand. And then I got it once I looked at the chart. But I also have to watch myself because I'm not having it. I'm really done. So there are certain people I'm not going to talk to. Families brawling at Disneyland. Yes, exactly. So, and then they acted like they said they didn't know what anybody was talking about. What is something that just take y'all over? Um, so just watch how you're communicating and watch and make sure you're communicating clearly because it's easy for things to be misunderstood when you have these types of situations. Oh, and then we have the moon opposite Uranus, which is Aquarius, the 11th house, all that justice, things have to be right, everything has to be fair. Thank God Uranus is direct. And Uranus is also in Taurus. So things have got to be fair. Now it is an opposition, so you might feel like some things are not fair in your family structure. You might feel like some things are not fair with being in that 11th house, just in general, like you're not being treated fairly. And it might feel like the person or people that aren't treating you fairly, they're really digging their heels in. Hey, Jeanette, they're really digging their heels in tough. But again, that's only going to be that way for pretty much today and a little bit of tomorrow. So don't really worry about it. We talked about Mercury and Mars being conjunct, Mercury being in retrograde. We already know that's issues. Mercury is squaring Uranus. Holy cats, guys. Okay, guess what that means? That means that they really arguing. So not only is communication a little tough, but it's squaring. He's got a lot of air in his chart, so the odds are so it's squaring Uranus. So really the conversation that's coming at you, you're gonna be like, why is you not this not fair? I want y'all to understand it. It's not fair. It's not fair. So see how this is going, okay? See what's happening. But remember, in all of this, I want us to really focus in on the fact that the veil is thin and the curtain is pulled back, and we're being asked to step up and look down. Instead of being at the ground level, hey, Suri, step up and look down. Look at it from a spiritual perspective, because there's also a lot of spiritual things happening and being put into place, and things are being exposed. That's why we have this Epstein character finally coming to justice. The divine feminine energy, Cancerian, is very heavy in feminine energy. The divine feminine energy is strong. Strong, and we're not having it. We're not for the ish. What's saving us a little bit here is Venus is trining the moon. Because Venus is trining the moon, and Venus is actually trining Neptune, that is encouraging us to take a step back, meditate, relax, understand that this too shall pass, and understand that after all of this conflict, there will come a beautiful resolution. After all of this conflict and the dust settles, once the chapter closes on the 16th, this particular chapter will be setting into motion wonderful things for the next 6 months. So be careful what you're setting in motion for the next 6 months. Thank you, Armand, love. Thank you, dear. Hello, Brochet. Be careful what you're setting into motion, because you are putting, remember the energy we are in. We are in Cancerian home and hearth energy, and we are in a Cancer North node, what we're supposed to be doing, and Capricorn South node, stuff we're really good at doing. Okay? We're in that axis. What does that mean? That means that it's time for us to focus in, get your house in order. You know, as a mother, as a parent, and I'm sure y'all remember this from y'all mamas. You know, I'm sure y'all mamas did the same thing I did. Like, you know, my mother and my grandmother would be like, y'all got to get this house in order. Y'all got to get some order about yourselves. Finally start these things that you've been talking about all this daggone time. Don't talk about it, be about it. Let's get it done. But you got to get yourself in order, because you are out of order in some areas. Baby, you out of order. Get it in line. So finally, you know, we've been talking a lot. Now, I don't know where this is going. I don't know who needs to hear it. But we have been talking a whole lot. Hey, Miss Mona. We have been talking a lot about being spiritual. And we've been talking a whole lot about being woke. And we've been talking a whole lot of ascension. We've been talking a whole lot about a whole lot. But how much have we really been doing? Now, some of us have been on this journey and we know where we're supposed to go and how we're supposed to get there. But are we just still sitting back, still sitting in the same mess? This energy is saying, baby, look, you got 6 months to get your house in order. If you look at the progression of it, you get your personal house in order, and then with the Capricornian energy, you get your career, your money, your government, all of this in order at the higher level. Right now, this is all about us, and move out the way. Move out the way. Stop being focused. Don't stop all the darn bickering and all the fighting and all the, baby, I ain't got time for it. You know, didn't your mama tell you to stop bickering with your brother or your sister? Stop it. Get in order. Clean it up. Clean it up. So this Venus trining Neptune energy, right? Dreaminess, spirituality, and now we've got some great love energy in there. And it's also trining the moon. We have basically Neptune, which is really high spirituality. We have the moon, which is just, ooh, I feel it, right? Right? They're trining each other, and Venus is coming in and saying, okay, sweetheart, show yourself some love. Meditate, relax, take your cleansing baths, put some frankincense in your bath, baby. Put them candles out. Do what you got to do. Diffuse the lavender. Do all of this, okay? Together. So that you can truly open yourself up and hear from fifth dimension. So you can hear from up here. And not only can you hear from up here, but what you know to be true at your highest level, what you know to be true, please act on it, because now is the time to put it into practice. Now is the time to use your higher energy, knowledge, and wisdom and put it into practical practice. Now is the time to be led truly by your spirit, living in a fifth dimensional world while staying grounded in the third dimensional world, so that we finally can say, oh, wow, I see all that mess you in right now, but I can't go there with you. Now it's time for me to move. So be very careful what you're putting together for this next 6 months. Be very careful of the chapters you are closing between now and the full moon and a little bit after, right? Be very careful about the chapters you're closing, and be probably even more careful about the chapters you are opening. Now, Mars is also squaring good old Uranus, which means that not only, because we already have Mercury squaring Uranus, Mars and Mercury squaring Uranus, so please be prepared. I will say that also, if you have some legal battles coming up, be very careful. Be very careful. Uranus is in Taurus. Mars and Venus are in Cancer, excuse me. Venus is in Cancer, Mars is in Leo. Be very careful if you're in any sort of legal battle right now. Or if you're doing any legal documentation. I wish I had seen this earlier today, because I was having some snafus with the stuff, the preparation of everything to buy the house. Be careful with contracts. I wouldn't probably sign. I'd read if you have to sign any contracts in between now and a few days from now, because both Venus and Mars are fairly fast moving planets. It takes about a day or so. However, let me see where Venus is. It's only 9 degrees in Cancer. Yeah, that's going to be there for a minute. So this is going to be transiting for a hot second in its respective places and squaring for a minute. So read over any contracts you're doing. Be sure, if you're in a legal situation, that you're really in communication with your attorney, and that you fully understand everything that's being said and written. Check it, double check it, triple check it. So just be careful if that's what's kind of going on. Also, if you're having any situations where you got to deal with HR, or so anything like that, just be very clear with your communication, and if you can slow play it. At least until after this full moon. That's almost a week, but you might be able to make it. Okay? So just be careful, double and triple check it. I'm not saying don't sign a contract. I'm saying be double and triply checking on it. All right? Jupiter, big ideas. Jupiter, which is in retrograde. It's at home in Sagittarius in retrograde, which helps. But it's also squaring Neptune in Pisces, which is also retrograde. That is very interesting, because as I stated before, Jupiter and Neptune Jupiter historically, before Neptune was discovered, was a ruling planet of both Sagittarius and Pisces. So they are both, they're squaring each other, and they're in retrograde. This could be good, could be not so good. It kind of, I'm not feeling that's got a whole lot to do with it. Although I will say this, if you're having a difficult time launching something right now spiritually, like if it's a spiritual practice, you have trouble launching it right now, or trouble getting some work done and you're in the metaphysical realm, that could be the reason why. Give yourself a little break. You'll be all right, because yeah, we're gonna get out of that energy pretty quickly. You've got the sun trining Neptune and quincunxing Jupiter. So, try to do most of that stuff during the day. Try to give yourself a little extra time to do it, but you should be okay. We talked about Saturn. We've been talking about Saturn sextiling Neptune, which to me is the major aspect that we need to be focused on. You need to be focused on money and being spirit-led towards your money. All the rest of this stuff, I said this the other day, please don't break up with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. Probably need to break up with the side piece, but that's not the point. Don't make any great decisions, okay, in your love life department between now and the lunar eclipse. Because it's not, communication between y'all ain't gonna get no easier. I'm just telling you right straight now, it's not gonna get easier. So don't 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 don't. Y'all gonna have some misunderstandings. Please ask, what did you mean by that? Okay, double and triple check. Try not to get all up in the, I know you didn't just say that to me. Please don't. Okay? Because if y'all do it, don't come back to me telling me nothing about nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I done broke up with him. I don't want to hear it. Because I done told you already. Don't get into it. I'm not having it. Get in order. Hey, Sassy. Get in order. I specifically said side pieces. I'm not really one for the side piece. Unless they about to become the main piece. But in your situation, you do you, boo-boo. Just don't be doing a whole lot of craziness. Saturn is in conjunction with Pluto, and Neptune is sextiling Pluto, and both are in Capricorn. Which is then in opposition to the sun. Those aspects right there, the Saturn, Pluto, Neptunian aspect relationships, is what's really demanding us to change. It's what's demanding us to go fifth dimensional. How can we survive it? Let me tell you, meditate, and please do some more meditation. Really take care of yourself spiritually. If you are one that, goes and has Reiki sessions or things like that, energy clearing sessions, please do that. Go get one. You can get one from me if you want, but I'm not trying to push it, right? You get one from me if you want. If not, someone that you trust. This can also, though, with the sun being in opposition, this can also be kind of a good time to cut some cords and clear some energy out that's been there. So if you're feeling like you can't really get out of a relationship, like get over the past, this might actually be a good time to take advantage of those 3 planets actually being in retrograde and really peeling it back and saying, where do I really need to transform and grow? What do I really need to let go of? Again, that shaking of that foundation, those foundational beliefs. It does more, it's more than just our spiritual belief system. It is also those things that have been spoken over us time and time again throughout our lives and potentially for generations that we need to release, that have actually been holding us back and keeping us from growing, that we may not even really realize are there. So there is a depth of a wealth of intimate self-knowledge that's available to us, that while it's it can be uncomfortable to release, it can also be absolutely wonderful once we do. So consider that. Okay? Consider that. Consider maybe getting an energy clearing. Consider doing kind of a cord cutting. Consider, doing this cleansing and healing the sacral, the sacral, the root, the power chakra, getting some chakral healing, okay, during this time. So the moon is in the North Node in Cancer. We're about halfway through it. That, interestingly enough, is a tad bit in retrograde as well, which is why it's a little bit more difficult to do what we're supposed to do. Okay. Now, that was a lot. The general gist of it is this. Understand, if you don't take anything else out of it, understand that you are going to come up against some opposition, some low vibrational, as Raina says, low vibrational people. It's going to seem like they really are wanting to puff up their chest and be seen. And they're just wanting to oppose you just for no earthly reason than just to oppose you. That's just where they are. As irritating as that can be, please try to woosah and let it go as much as you can. Hello, Renelle. As much as you possibly can. Please do that. And I don't know why I keep stressing this love relationship thing, but I really feel it's very important for you all to understand this ain't the time. Now, if you were thinking about proposing to somebody or creating a committed, or saying, let's be committed, let's move in, please don't do that right now. This ain't the time for that either. This is not the time. This really ain't the time. This could be a good time to get away from the house and go do something relaxing. Get out of the typical setting and go do something relaxing. This could also be a fantastic time for you to take your hindquarters and go into a hotel room by your damn self and chill out. It might be a good time for you to do that as well. I'm pretty sure probably some of our loved ones and our family members would be thrilled if we would just take our hindquarters and go somewhere and sit it down in a hot tub or whatever by ourselves. And it's okay to do that, because we have to, if this is time for self-care, self-reflection, and healing. Okay? Also, don't forget any contracts or agreements that you are making. Please double and triple check them. If you are embroiled in a battle, a legal battle right now, double and triple check with your attorneys. Make sure you're understanding the proceedings. Don't be surprised if there's a little hiccup here or there in amongst the proceedings. Don't be surprised, okay? Because overreaching all of this, right, is the beloved Mercury retrograde in Leo. Now, this happens all the time, so we shouldn't be surprised, okay? So, just learn to deal with it. Okay. All right. Now, hey, just thinking, how are you, honey? How are you? All right. I'm literally leaving the country alone to get away from these people. Honey, my passport, stay ready. Okay, we're gonna open this. I don't know how long I've been on. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Ooh, goodness. I just went off, didn't I? Focus on self, get your money up. Yes, plan accordingly. No contracts or run-ins with the law. There you go. You got it. And it's not that there's no contracts, but I just want you to double and triple check those contracts. Okay, does anybody have any questions that they want to put forward? Because you all have hung with me for 45 minutes. I did not intend to be talking this long. Because Lord knows I got a contract I got to work on. Looking forward to going back to the gym. Yep, working on self. Working out always relaxed me. You missed it. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to wait just a couple more minutes to see if anybody has any questions about what we talked about. In between that time, don't forget, guys, I'm still having that birthday special, $51 for an hour. Go ahead, Brochet. $51 for an hour of my time. Normally that's $100. That can be doing energy work, you know, Reiki. It could be doing intuitive readings. I'm gonna tell you guys, an hour with me, you never know what's gonna happen. Synchronicity, got to do it now. Yeah. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you. You tried cutting cords with a lingering energy, but it hasn't worked. What else can I do? It was a bad energy. Well, Brochet, that's a really without knowing what's going on, I don't know what you've done. I don't know. I can't really answer that without knowing what you've already done. Cutting cords, if you can't release it yourself, where you basically said, hey, this isn't something I want to hold on to anymore, it's still serving you in some way, so you really need to we need to see which chakra it is affecting. Where is that negative energy? What is it still serving you? Where are you still lacking? Because if we can figure out where you're lacking, then that can be healed and the cord can be cut. Hey, Raven. So anytime you need to cut cords, it's always, he was using black magic. Oh boy. Roche, you need to schedule some time. That's not just a I can tell you. Roche, you need to schedule a session with me. And I'm not trying to be funny. Um it's literally a binding up of that spirit and casting that spirit away from you and then healing that area that he has attached himself to. Hey Trista, how are you, honey? Long time no see. Yeah, that's that you yeah. Sometimes you can, Brochet, but if you've run into a, that's why I'm here, right? I'm not here just a lot of these things, that's why I teach you guys so much. A lot of these things y'all can do yourself. And I know people are just like, girl, you're not even trying to get no money. It's not about the money. I want to teach you all how to do it yourself. However, there does come a point sometimes where you need somebody else to step in and help. And that's no shade, that's no anything, but there's the reason why we're practitioners. Oh, I'm glad you're moving, hey baby, soon. I'm so glad. That's all right, Deanna. That's all right. Sometimes our fingers don't work right. Okay, brochet baby. Okay. 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 You know, the thing is yes, your ancestors may have told you not to worry about it because perhaps you were focused too much on it. And as you focus on it, you give it life. You give it energy, you give it life. Okay, well, can we get one question, sis? Um, so that perhaps is why they told you that. Uh, but again, if you get stuck, that's why people like me are here. Um, if you have identified the chakra that's injured or the chakra where the attachment is, then it really is then you cutting that cord. But there was a reason, there was a way he could attach it, attached to you. There was something that was lacking within you, or you felt that was lacking within you, that that attachment spoke to. And that's where you have to understand where that was and what that was so that you can then heal that place of attachment and cut the cord. But if he was doing black magic, so that I'm telling you something, a lot of times that takes someone else that's accustomed to cutting, that's accustomed to releasing those spells, if you will. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Well, yes, he knew all your weaknesses, Lovey. He knew all your weaknesses. I'm not gonna get into the black magic thing. You're moving into your childhood home. Oh no! You say that. That's good. I'm not saying avoid them, Mona. What I'm saying is be very certain that the communication is clear. And be very certain of what they're hearing and what you know what I'm saying and what you're hearing back. Because there's going to be miscommunication, papers lost, things of that nature when we have these energies like this. Hey, Victoria, how are you, lovey? Really let go of what I can't control. Easier said, focus on what I can do, and that's really what we do. And you do, like, you have to let go of the process, guys. And I tell you all of these things not so that you can focus on all of it, not to freak you out, but you need to be aware of the possibility of what could happen, so that when you see it, you're like, "Oop! Forewarned is forearmed." Forewarned is forearmed, right? And we have to let go of the process of how we get to the intention. What we want to manifest, we need to keep that as our intention and focus on that and not focus on how we get there. Because the more we focus on the path to getting there, we mess it up. We get in our feels. Okay? No, that's what we have to do. It can be difficult, but once you get used to it, it's okay. Like there's been hiccups with this purchase of this house, right? And I was like, y'all is not really hearing me. I got to close in 3 weeks. Um, we have to close in 3 weeks. Hey, Lucky. I see, Mona, what you're saying. 1 second. Um, but then I said to myself, well, I believe it's delayed so that the right underwriter could see it and they'll approve it. And then everything else will go through. So, um, Well, and then Mona, if you know that communication that you're gonna go off, um, then maybe giving it a rest for a couple of days makes sense. If you know you're going to like bleh, then don't. Because you've got Pluto. Yeah, the sun is in opposition to Pluto. So you want the transformation to happen now, and it's not happening that quickly. And it should happen. Uh so I would wait a couple of days. I mean, you've spoken your piece, and if something pops up, just take a breath. Oh, thanks, Lucky. Thank you so much. Such a trust in the process over the last 7 months. So yeah, it's real. It can be tough, but once you get there, it's just exhilarating, honey. It's so liberating. Okay, Mona, I don't know what you want me to say, lovey. I can't tell you what you're going to do. Only you know what you're going to do. If you don't feel that you can restrain yourself, and if you really don't feel like they're understanding you, maybe have maybe if there's some way you can email it and have somebody else read over it, so that and see if they understand it, because if a second set of eyes understands what you're writing, that might be better, because sometimes we see and read things so much that we know what we mean because it's all up here because we're living it, but we're really not being as clear as we can be. Health or corporal things we should be doing now or avoiding. Wow, I never really thought about that, Sagittarius, being super honest. Um, again, my thing with this right now is staying as grounded as possible, doing a lot of meditation, take your Epsom salt baths, keep your sage around. I mean, I need to light mine. I feel like I need that joker right now, as a matter of fact. Keep your sage around. Um, keep your candles around. Um, your crystals. You sure you got grounding crystals around you? Oh God, I love sage. Um, mm, okay. Um, take walks. Be out in nature. If you can sit out in the moonlight a little bit and sit out in the sun a little bit, get both energies. You can stay balanced and stay calm. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Right. So my statement still stands though. So if you feel like you could go off, if you feel like there's a potential and you're losing it, then back it up. I would be sure, again, anything that's written, and I would probably stick to as much written correspondence as I could, and have a second set of eyes look it over that doesn't really know the situation, but kind of knows the situation. Because that second set of eyes is going to give you the ability to have somebody outside of yourself read it and see if they get it. And if they get it, then you know the next person's going to get it. Oh my gosh, which crystals are good for right now? I am very partial to my selenite right now. I've got, selenite towers right now. Um, that kind of guards and takes out. Citrine is good right now. Clear quartz is good right now. For grounding, definitely tourmaline, black obsidian. Black onyx is a very powerful grounding and protection crystal. Love it. I'm that's gonna be my next purchase. You're welcome, Miss Mona. So, because I don't know, I mean, and if you're having trouble, if you feel like you're having trouble hearing from the spirit realm, definitely amethyst is good. For that, of course, is always, I'm trying to think of the common ones. If you can find, I've got the kyanite ring. If you can find kyanite, good for ascension energy and awakening energy. Really good. Never heard of copal. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Lollipop. Yeah, that's the crystal guru. Oh, honey, well, we're not gonna be on much longer, so I'll catch you the next time. Citrine, aquamarine, or moon crystal. Yeah, that's good. Well, small ones, that's all you need. It doesn't matter what size they are. The size doesn't matter. The frequency is the same no matter what the size of the stone or the crystal. So you want to carry some around. Um, Citrine is good. You know why I like citrine a lot is because it's both grounding and it's cleansing and it's clearing and it's protect. There's a lot of fantastic powers, and it is one of the few crystals that don't. For those of you that believe in charging your crystals, it is one of the few that doesn't need to be charged or cleansed or cleared. It dumps the energy itself. It's really nice. Rose quartz, that's good too. To keep your love life from going nuts. Chad, look, I need some of that on rose quartz. Moonstone, tiger's eyes. Yeah, lapis lazuli. I forgot about that one, honey. I forgot about lapis lazuli. That used to be my jam. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Moldavite. Yeah, I've been really thinking, wanting some Moldavite. Girl, y'all, I can't believe I forgot about lapis. Okay, y'all, we done chitty chatted. Peach selenite, amethyst. Look at us. Green and pink quartz, citrine. I've never seen a pink quartz or pink quartz. Okay. Okay. All right, y'all. Mm. And I love sage. Okay. Let me get on out of here, y'all. Yeah, I'm finna get off here, Rio. Thank you for coming. Oh, that's lovely. Okay, guys, I hope this helped. On the replay, I hoped it helped. If you stayed for the question and answer time period afterwards, I might break this up a little bit because I know an hour is a lot for people to watch. So I got to find some ways to break it up. But y'all, I got some work to do. Okay, I got some work to do. Um, Rosaries are good for that. Rosaries really are. I need to visit my Catholic friends and get one. I sure do. Okay, guys, those of you that did win the July giveaway, I'll be emailing you. So we're gonna try to set something up for the weekend, okay, guys? Those of you that won the July giveaway. Guys, I am like just like 8 or less subscribers away from 2,000. We're gonna celebrate when I get to 2,000 because this, for whatever reason, y'all, has been a long time coming. So I'll really be happy to get to 2,000. So if you all can refer this out a little bit, I don't know what exactly we're going to do at 2,000 subscribers, but we're going to do something fun for everybody and something just to show my appreciation. Oh, thank you, Miss Raina. So if y'all come up with something, that'll be great. And I will get some love readings up this weekend too. I'm gonna finish off the July zodiacs and we'll get some love readings up. All right, guys. Thanks for coming with me tonight. Thanks for sitting here with me. And if you have any questions, email me at admin@heartofinspiration.net. If you wish to schedule time with me, go to heartofinspiration.net, where you'll be able to schedule under spiritual services. And please don't forget, tarot classes start, y'all, in just a little over a week. Now, y'all got to come on now and do these tarot classes. Y'all said y'all wanted them. So y'all better come on and sign up, because otherwise I ain't offering them no more. I'll tell you that straight up. All right, guys. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.